I would consider an alpha prototype to be some of the experiments that the engineers do during product design to prove that their designs are going to get the job done, or at
Yeah.
least give them an idea that, okay, we need to, improve this area, but that part works fine. First thing you want to do in the product development process is identify what's easy. You know that you can do an enclosure out of sheet metal or ABS injection molded plate. You know that you can do that. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on that right now. But can this thing move fast enough? And let's say that it's a pipetting system that is shifting chemicals back and forth through microtiter plates. Can it go fast enough? Can the temperatures be maintained within tight enough tolerance? Those are the things that might be risky, and you may want to build an alpha prototype to prove that, yeah, I can hold those temperatures with these chemicals, and it can go fast enough. It has the throughput that we're looking for. Oh yeah, it's ugly. It's not painted. There's no logo on it, but the guts of it can prove that you've chosen the right components and you've chosen the right design.
Yeah, the alpha, I like to consider the alpha as a experimental platform. You've got all the basic technology in place, and then, like, to John's point, okay, now we're gonna go test the limits. We're gonna go see, can this thing move the way we want it to? Does it do the things that we want it to? Does it fall off the bench when we when we try to do it? It's I treat it as an experimental platform to prove out some of the requirements. Again, it all kind of started back in the requirements, and you know, customers, engineers, end users will all feed into the product requirements, and then it's up to the alpha prototype to be that first interaction, um, to see if all those requirements can be accomplished. Depending on the complexity of the product, we might build a couple of different test stands, if you will, to test different aspects of the product. Um, Sometimes we'll build something on a piece of plywood and we'll literally just lay it out and bolt stuff down and duct tape things to other things. And sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can get a little fancier with an alpha prototype. I've seen alpha prototypes that are all 3D printed parts. So 3D printed is easy because all you have to do is load up a CAD file into the module and it gets printed in a day. So you can have what the look of the product will be in an alpha prototype. But again, it's experimental, because if you 3D print out the module, what this thing is supposed to look like, you can run a couple of tests just inherently by holding it. Is it too heavy? Is it the right size? Will it fall over? These are all things that are important to test when you're developing a product. So alpha prototypes, they can be as basic and as rugged as bolting stuff to a piece of plywood, but they can be a little bit more sophisticated depending on what it is you're trying to experiment with. What are the risks that you're trying to mitigate and see? It really kind of depends on the product.